Hello. As a group, we have conducted information to pretty much answer some of the most frequently asked questions about Khmer Rouge. During Khmer Rouge, a leading leader was Pol Pot. He stated, "Better to kill an innocent by mistake than spare an enemy by mistake," because during that time, they targeted at anyone who spoke a foreign language or wore glasses. Now it's time to get into the juicy stuff. Hope you enjoy.
Khmer Rouge was led by Pol Pot, a communist leader who was originally from Cambodia. Pol Pot attended a school in Paris in Europe studying radio technology and also became active in communist circles. After returning to Cambodia, he joined the Khmer People's Revolutionary Party, which later became the Khmer Rouge Guerrilla Party. Another important figure in Khmer Rouge was Lon Nol, who was the president of the Khmer Republic from 1972 to 1975. The first priority of the Khmer Rouge guerrilla party was to execute all of Khmer's leaders, so Lon Nol decided to flee to Indonesia, which is close to Cambodia, and then he decided to flee to the United States. Prince Sihanouk was the head of state for Cambodia. He was a part of Khmer Rouge as an advocate in the United Nations. He ended up denouncing Khmer Rouge after they invaded Vietnam, so he ended up leaving. Angkar is the Khmer Rouge word for organization and was used by the Communist Party of Cambodia.
Before the genocide, in the early 1960s, there was a communism revolt led by the Communist Party of Kampuchea, CPK, which is now a monarchy. Prince Norodom Sihanouk ruled. In 1965, Cambodia broke off neutrality with the U.S. during the Vietnam War. The U.S. did not like Prince Sihanouk's policies, allowing North Vietnamese communists to use border areas and the port of Sihanouk. U.S. and South Vietnam bombed military installations and attacked Cambodian villages. In 1965 to 1969, the U.S. bombed 83 Cambodian sites. Bombers targeted mobile headquarters of the South Vietnamese Viet Cong and the North Vietnamese Army in the Cambodian jungle. As you know, the Khmer Rouge did not always have the strongest support in Cambodia, but this all changed. As the Vietnam War began to increase in danger, so did the lives of the Cambodian peasants. As more Cambodians began to agree with the Khmer Rouge views, who were considered leftist politicians, the hate for Prince Sihanouk increased. The people of Cambodia no longer trusted his abilities to protect them and keep them safe. The Cambodian Civil War. For 5 years, 1970 to 1975, Khmer Rouge and Prince Sihanouk fought right-leaning military. The Khmer Rouge had the upper hand once a lot of countryside territory was claimed. From January to about August 1973, the Khmer Republic, with the help of the U.S., dropped 0.5 million bombs on Cambodia. This alone consisted of about 300,000 deaths. On April 17, 1975, the Khmer Rouge invaded Phnom Penh, meaning they won the Civil War. At this time, power was restored to Pol Pot, and Prince Sihanouk was exiled. Year Zero, 1975. The first year of Pol Pot's rule is known as Year Zero. Some of the changes he enforced consisted of about 2 million Cambodians forced into rural farming communities, transformation into a classless society, meaning no exploitation. The currency system was removed. Private property ownership was outlawed. The practice of religion was banned. Public schools, shops, churches, government buildings all now transformed into prisons and re-education camps. Furthermore, their basic rights were deprived. Families could no longer show emotions such as humor, pity, affection, or etc. Groups of 3 or more were seen as a threat, and they risked execution or prison. Lon Nol's soldiers were also imprisoned and executed for being considered impure and evil. Causes of deaths. During this period of Cambodian history, many peasants died, but specifically under the rule of the Khmer Rouge, about 250 deaths occurred. Workers suffered from starvation, 12-plus hour workdays without breaks or sufficient food, overwork. CPK's 1976 four-year plan expected peasants to breed 3 tons of rice per hectare, which was a total of farming for 12 months. There were diseases. For being an intellectual or revolutionary movement leader, even a myth of wearing glasses or speaking a foreign language could get you killed. There were also execution camps. These consisted of educated Cambodian middle class. S21. There were also execution camps. These were filled with educated middle class Cambodians. S21, a very well-known execution camp, held about 14,000 prisoners. Only 12 survived. Here is a video of a peasant and soldiers revisiting S21.
មិនតាន់ដាច់ដង្ហើមទេគេឃើញអញ្ចឹងគេយកសំបបរមួយចានទៅមកដាក់ឲ្យនិយាមលើកគ្រាបច្ចុកអីទៅយប់នឹងមកយប់ស្អែកឡើងងាប់បាត់ទៅហើយពេលដែលងាប់ហើយហ្នឹងពេទ្យគឺកំដឹងកាលហ្នឹងខ្ញុំចាំមិនច្បាស់ដែរហើយកងការពារហ្នឹងគេដើរមកគេឈូសតើឈូសក្បាលមួយជើងទៅទេអ្នកងាប់ហើយហ្នឹងហើយជេរមួយម៉ាត់ទៅទៀតដូចម៉ែវាគេឲ្យរស់ហើយព្រមរស់ទៀតហ្នឹង នឹងបានថាជួនកាលពេលយប់សัตว์រោមភ្លើងវាធ្លាក់មកតាមនឹងអីរើសនាំគ្នាលួចរើសដាក់នឹងមាត់ផ្លុកទៅកាលណាវាកងការពារមើលមកឃើញវាចូលមកហ្នឹងអាហ្នឹងរឿងហើយបដោះអាស្បែកជើងវាហ្នឹងវាមកវាយតិចយើងហ្នឹងផាំងគុំតិចហ្នឹងមកខាង3 4 5ផាំងហ្នឹងទៅចង់ស្លាប់ទៅអ្នកទៅគេវាយចេញកដោបចេញចរិតពីមាត់មកវិញមក ហើយភ្នែកហ្នឹងខៀវចង់ស្រក់ហូរឈាមហើយខ្ញុំនៅនឹងមួយខែជាងខ្ញុំបាត់ជើងតែ2 ដងទេព្រោះក្នុងពោះខ្ញុំអត់មានអាហារទេវាអស់ហើយមួយថ្ងៃពី3 លាព្រាហ្នឹងវាមិនអាចទប់ទល់បានទេក្នុងជីវិតខ្ញុំថាខ្ញុំត្រូវចាប់នៅកន្លែងហ្នឹងហើយអញ្ចឹងបាទខ្ញុំមិនយល់ថាហេតុអីអំពើវខោខើសាហាវប៉ុណ្ណឹងហើយនេះហើយអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាដែលស្លាប់ធ្វើការនៅកន្លែងហ្នឹងវាសាំនឹងអំពើហ្នឹងបាន វាសាំនឹងអាទិដ្ឋភាពខ្លោចផ្សានឹងកើតនេះខ្ញុំមិនយល់ខ្ញុំចូលមនៅក្នុងទីស21ដំបងគឺមុនដំបងគេអប់រំឲ្យខ្ញុំរៀនសូត្របំពាក់គោលចំហខ្ញុំថាមន្ទីរស21ជាបេះដូងនៃប្រទេសជាតិហើយក៏ជាសសរទ្រូងរឹងមាំដែរអញ្ចឹងយើងម្នាក់ជាដៃស្ដាំរបស់បកអញ្ចឹងត្រូវមានចំហដាច់ខាតឃើញខ្មាំង គឺកុំឲ្យមានចិត្តស្ទាក់ស្ទើរជាមួយខ្មាំងត្រូវដាច់ខាតជាមួយខ្មាំងពួកបងប្អូនម៉ែឪចូលមកក្នុងហ្នឹងក៏ចែកដាច់ខ្មាំងនឹងមិត្តដែរឲ្យមានការស្ទាក់ស្ទើរឥឡូវចុះអាក្មេងទូចអាខ្លះអាយុមិនតាន់បាន1ឆ្នាំផងនៅ3នៅបៅដោះហើយអាខ្លះទើបមិនចេះដើរអាហ្នឹងវាប្រឆាំងអីនេះវាខ្មាំងមិនដែរអាហ្នឹងបាក់ទីស21បានណែនាំថាបើសិនជាបាក់ចាប់មកហើយ គឺជាខ្មាំងមកប៉ាចាប់មកប្តីគឺប្រពន្ធក៏ត្រូវចាប់កូនត្រូវចាប់យកមកដែរសូម្បីតែម៉ែឪក៏ដោយបងប្អូនយើងក៏ដោយបើថាប៉ាចាប់មកគឺជាខ្មាំងមកប៉ាគឺចែកដល់ឡៃពីគ្នាធំជាងគេមានដល់អង្គការមានប៉ាហ្នឹងបើឲ្យយកទៅកំតិចយើងត្រូវយកទៅកំតិចអត់មានថាការគិតគូរអីតាន់តិចអត់ទេបាទព្រោះប៉ាស21ថាទៅចាប់មកមិនជាខុស តែយកមកខ្មាំងមកចឹងចឹងអានេះអាតសញ្ញាណដែលយើងថាវិចារណយើងជាមនុស្សហ្នឹងវាបាត់បង់អស់លីងពេលហ្នឹងវាលែងមានការគិតណាម៉ែណាឪអស់វាលែងជឿម៉ែឪឯងអត់ហើយថ្ងៃហ្នឹងចឹងវាបំពាក់អំពន់វាមិនទេញ៉ាបាទបើគេថាខ្មាំងអាហ្នឹងទៅតាមថាខ្មាំងចឹង
Khmer Rouge was a brutal regime that ruled Colombia under the leadership of Marxist dictator Pol Pot from 1975 through 1979. The Khmer Rouge had its origins in the 1960s as the armed wing of the Communist Party of Kampuchea, the name of the communists used for Cambodia. Its government was finally overthrown in 1979 by invading Vietnamese troops after a series of violent border confrontations. Pol Pot was denounced by his former comrades in a show trial in July 1997 and sentenced to house arrest in his jungle home.
This is where Khmer Rouge took place in Cambodia. The group was located in the jungle and mountain areas of the northeastern part of the country, and the Khmer Rouge did not have much support across Cambodia, including cities like Phnom Penh, the capital, but they eventually took it over. So, as you can see on the map, Cambodia was right in between Vietnam and Thailand, and like we said previously, Khmer Rouge actually invaded Vietnam. And on the world map, which is on the bottom, it is close to the Pacific Ocean, actually south of Asia.
So a lot of people always want to know, what's the aftermath? What happened after this? So basically, after the Khmer Rouge carried out numerous cross-border attacks on Vietnam in which hundreds of villagers were massacred, the Vietnamese army invaded Cambodia. After the invasion, Pol Pot and his Khmer Rouge fighters quickly retreated to remote areas of the country. However, they remained active as an insurgency. Vietnam retained control in the country with a military presence for much of the 1980s over the objections of the United States. So basically, they all just went away back to their areas with the mindset of staying dynamic because already as it is, the Vietnamese army invaded Cambodia in 1979 and removed Pol Pot and the Khmer Rouge from power after a series of violent battles on the border between the two countries. So basically, Pol Pot had sought to extend his influence into the newly unified Vietnam, but his forces were quickly rebuffed. And that was basically the outcome of what happened after Khmer Rouge.
The Khmer Rouge was a violent regime that ruled Cambodia under the leadership of dictator Pol Pot from 1975 to 1979. His attempts to create a Cambodian master race through social engineering obviously led to a significant amount of deaths in Southeast Asia, approximately 2 million. This period has historically become known as the Cambodian Genocide. To end these horrific events, in 1979, the Vietnamese army invaded Cambodia and removed the Khmer Rouge from power. Pol Pot still wanted to extend his power into the newly unified Vietnam, but his forces were soon rejected.
Here is a video of a survivor of the Khmer Rouge.
ពេលណានឹកឃើញរបបខ្មែរក្រហមម្ដងរបបពលពតម្ដងមានការឈឺចាប់ណាស់ក្មួយបើសិនជាឃើញអ្នកនោះនៅនឹងមុខសឹងតែបដូរជីវិតក៏បដូរដែរមានការឈឺចាប់បំផុតរកអ្វីព្រិះគ្មានដោយសារការប្រត់ប្រាស់គ្រូសាប្រត់ប្រាស់ឪពុកម្ដាយ